Oh, hello. You just caught me here standing by a cow pasture. No, but seriously, I'm going to walk and talk because earlier in a vlog, I said I was going to discuss the leadership transition that I went through this last month. And I walk and talk better and it clears my head. So, you get to walk with me. So basically last month, I started reading a book called Redeeming Love. The book rocked my world. I mean, literally rocked my world. I read it in like 2 days, devoured it. Yes. And so God was like, oh, I really want you to write your testimony. And so I was like, okay, sure. And so I wrote my testimony. And I was like, well, what do you want me to do with it now, God? And he's like, I don't want you to do anything with it. I just wanted you to process it. So I didn't do anything with it. But there were a few things in my testimony that I honestly hadn't verbalized, hadn't ever said out loud, hadn't really ever told very many people. And so I was feeling very impressed to tell my leadership. And I did. I didn't want to. Mostly just because some things you say out loud and, you expect a certain reaction from people. But it wasn't like that. In me telling leadership, I felt like it was my way of breaking free from it. And it was my way of saying, all right, this happened. And I'm walking in the light of it and I'm walking in the truth of it. And I'm not going to hide it in just my mind anymore. And so I did that. And I sat down with leadership and I was like, okay, where do we go from here? So basically what happened is everybody sat down and prayed separately. And it came to the terms that God was really impressing on them and myself that he really wanted me to focus on just him this month. And it's not that leadership is distracting in that, but for those of you who have been in leadership and those of you who haven't, you know that there are certain burdens that come with leadership. And so in that, I felt that their hearts behind it, and I know that their hearts behind it, were that they wanted me to focus on God and have alone time with God so that he could really heal some deeply seated wounds inside of me. And so I was asked to step aside, and I accepted and said, yes, I agree, I'll step aside. Of course, in that moment, don't get me wrong, the enemy threw out literally every lie in the book that he could at me. I was feeling angry at times. I was feeling rejected and feelings of failure, which has been a lifelong struggle of mine. And I was mad at one point. I was like, okay, God, I don't understand why you want this right now, but I'm going to trust that you know what's best. And so those feelings were dealt with slowly, gradually. But I want to talk about the hard parts of it. So basically the day that it happened, I was angry, not at anyone in particular, mostly myself, honestly. And so I distanced myself a little bit from my team. I distanced myself from the girl that they made leader. I was trying to find the line of helping, but not over helping, or not stepping on toes, not stepping out of my boundaries, I guess. Finding that line of, oh, I know you need help, but I also am not the leader anymore. So that was a struggle of mine. Things didn't go so well the first week, if I'm being completely honest. And, we both were kind of avoiding each other a bit. Mine was mostly because I didn't want my feelings to come out on her, because obviously it's not her fault. But I know myself, and I know that that's how I tend to react at times. And so I was kind of distancing myself and trying to dive into God and be like, all right, God, I need the strength to get through this. Show me what you want me to do. I'm here. You wanted my full attention. You wanted my full time. I'm here. What do you want from me? What do you want me to learn? What am I supposed to be getting out of this? So basically it took a week for me and Jordan to actually confront each other. But when we did, I'll tell you what, God brought so much grace and understanding to the situation, because here I was thinking that she was over here feeling one way, and here she was thinking I was just over here doing something else. And it's the things that we keep silent. It's the things that we don't bring into the light. That's how the devil works in us, and that's how he can use these things against us. And so when we brought what we were struggling with into the light and why we felt the way we did, it brought so much grace and understanding into the situation. Like, oh, like, you're dealing with this. I didn't even know you were upset, kind of thing. And so it was very, very eye-opening. And we got to a level of, all right, like, I want to help you. So I just didn't want to, step on your toes. So I'm going to give you all the information I have. I'm going to teach you everything that they've taught me. I'm going to give you all that I know, and I'm going to give you my time, and I'm always here if you need any questions. But you're the leader, and God put you in this leadership position, and I respect that, and I follow that because he put you there. So we got actually on a lot deeper level, and we talked more about each other's stories, and come to find we actually have a lot in common. Yeah, so it was just a really hard situation at first, and it was a very quick situation. It all happened extremely fast, and kind of unexpectedly, obviously. And so it just was it was hard all around, but in the end, God brought a lot of grace into it and a lot of understanding. And with me, like, I'm grateful for it this month. Like, I can see why he did what he did, because like I said in an earlier vlog, like, it has been a very difficult month for me. Being at this ministry, it's brought up a lot of my past that I haven't dealt with, and honestly, I do walk in freedom of a lot. I do. But I didn't realize until this situation how much I struggled with my feelings of failure and rejection still. And so that is something that I have slowly but surely been overcoming this month. That's something that I'm still walking in, trying to overcome. But you know what? I am walking in freedom of my past, because my past doesn't define who I am. And not, hold on, there's a motorcycle coming. Awkward. Anyways, I am walking in a lot, see, devil, trying to do it again. I'm walking in a lot of freedom. And there are a lot of things in my past that I have overcome, and my past doesn't define who I am. I can tell you that much. And the mistakes that I have made, which have been many throughout my life, do not disqualify me, and do not mean that I'm not a leader. And that's also something that I've learned, that I don't need a title to be a leader. I am just a leader because that's who God's made me to be. And I'm walking in who he says I am, not who the world says I am, not who people say I am, not the past Julia that everybody's known, the false self that I've shown for God knows how many years of my life. That's not who I am. And yeah, I'm still figuring things out, and Lord knows I don't have it all figured out. But if there's one thing that I do know, it's that I'm done. I'm done with the false self. I'm done with being fake. I'm done with it all. The only thing I want to walk in is truth in life. And I just don't have a sensor, honestly. I wish I did sometimes, but I don't. So you guys are going to be getting the raw material this next year, and probably for the rest of my life. So just be prepared. But I just wanted to let you know how that transition phase has gone, and that God has been doing a lot of work in me this month. And yeah, I'm grateful for it. Honestly, I'm grateful for it. So I am willing to do whatever it is he calls me to do. But in this season, I know he's calling me to spend some time with him and to dive deep. So that's what I'm doing. So yeah, bye.